Time today, so going for a walk. I wanted to show you, give you a peek into what is inside our wild schooling pack. I packed it up like we were going out on a little adventure, and I'm excited to show you what we've gotten here. Okay, so let's see what we got in here. All right, I was planning on using my tripod, but I forgot I had it. All right, so first of all, this is the bag I have right now. I've had this for probably like 15 years. It's a Mountain Hardwear. It's actually made for cross-country skiing or like regular skiing. That's what I bought it for, but it's held up so well. Like there's no rips or anything. It's super, super hardcore material. But obviously the first thing we always bring, water. Depending on how long the hike's gonna be, we'll bring 1-2 bottles depending on how long we're planning on being out in the field. And definitely a water bottle. Snacks, of course. Kids always want snacks. Got my phone for emergencies. Sometimes I'll use it to pull out, take some photos or something. But first book we've got, Enjoying Wildflowers. Just a nice general guidebook. My daughter can easily like go through and pick out what the flower is that we found, and yeah, so this is a nice. I picked this up at our local thrift store because I realized I never really got into wildflowers, but I've really been enjoying it lately. This, actually I'm going to show you them both at the same time. These two books are like, these were my Bibles for a long time. I absolutely am completely in love with wildlife track and sign. And it's something that kind of comes natural to me in terms of picking up the patterns of the trails and footprints of whatever we're following or finding. If you've got anywhere that has a lot of sand, great spot for tracks. Beaches, anything like that, amazing. Amazing what you can find. These are Mark Elbrock, and they are amazing if you want to learn animal track and sign. If you like that kind of thing, I could definitely do more videos on that. I don't usually carry these books with me in the field unless I'm going on a dedicated tracking walk or hike where I'm going to be showing people wildlife track and sign, because they're just really heavy. So I don't often take these with me in the field, but they're really good to have. And then we've got trees. This works in the summer, in the fall, in the winter, in the spring. Lots of nice pictures. I mean, it'll probably be better in the summer when you can see the leaves, but it's also got some winter characteristics and that sort of thing. So kind of a great all-around tree identification book. My favorite, besides Wildlife Tracking Sign, birds. This never leaves my backpack. Never, ever, ever leaves my backpack. Birds, pretty self-explanatory. Take this with us wherever we go because I can never get enough birds. And they, besides trees and wildflowers and things that don't move, as far as wildlife goes, birds are going to be the most accessible for you to be able to see and hear and observe, right? Like, as far as wildlife goes. So I always keep this in my bag. Got my trusty binoculars. These are great. They're 8 by 32, which is plenty for my need. Some birders like a little bit more magnification, like up to 10. I don't know. Maybe there's even 12 or something. I don't know. I have got 8. Perfect for my needs. And it's also nice to have a lower magnification if you're going to be out on the water, like kayaking or boating or whatever, because the higher magnifications tend to be a little more shaky because obviously they're zoomed in more, so there's not as much, you can't be as stable with them. And of course, we've got some extra Ziplocs for collecting things, leaves, twigs, making stuff for like, we like to make fairy houses, so sometimes we'll collect different things for that, or arts and crafts kind of stuff with things that we find in nature, pine cones, whatever. And also, we often go out on a specific wild edible excursion where we're going to be going blueberry picking or cranberry picking or mushroom hunting or something like that. Beach plums, whatever we're specifically looking for. Or if we find things along the way, we can always have extra Ziplocs to put stuff in and bring home. And then, of course, something fun. We like to play catch with this thing. It's very light. You can throw it right in your pack. I don't know what it's called. Arrow prop. Super fun. You can actually like direct it to where you want to fly it. Very fun for kids. Little fun thing to do. And then this is our sort of wild schooling pack, right? We've got these find and seek cards, which are really fun. A friend of mine gave these to me for us to go out in the field with. Basically, like, you find something on each card, look around, find something round, find something slimy, find something blue. It's kind of like a nature scavenger hunt type thing, but they're really fun. We use these quite often. They've definitely got their fair share of use over the last year. These are also great when your kid's learning to read. So you could have them sound out the words and help with that. So double trouble fun. I don't know why I said trouble, but all right. And then we've got, of course, a little drawing pad, notepads, little things to draw on, coloring with. Of course, we've got like tons of crayons and markers, colored pencils, whatever we might need for stopping and taking a little break to color and draw. The handy dandy ruler. We've got this nice extendable ruler, which is great when you are looking at animal tracks and sign like scat. You can whip this out, take a measurement, and if you don't have your tracking book with you to identify the track, you can always use this to take precise measurements, write them down in your notebook, and then you can refer back to your book when you get home. And I highly recommend when you're taking photos of wildlife tracks that you put something in the picture, in the photo, to give it some sort of scale. So even if it's just like a coin, or obviously using a ruler would be great because you can actually measure it. and show the measurement in the photo. But anything for scale that you can measure when you get home and sort of apply that to the photo to get an estimation of how big the track is. So just a little tip. Always keep something for scale in your photos. And that goes for anything that you're taking a picture of to reference back to, leaves, things like that. So, and then, of course, one of my favorite things, a multi-tool or a knife or something that you can use for cutting. Sometimes you just need a knife, you want to cut something off or whatever. Very handy to have. I always, always, always carry some sort of knife or multi-tool with me whenever I go out in the field. Whenever I go anywhere, actually, because you never know. I've lent out multi-tools and knives more times than I can imagine, right? People always need them. Oh, and then this is really fun. The handy dandy magnet. Magnets are fun. Fun science experiments. Put it in the sand, pick up the magnetite. I think that's what it's called. Magnets are fun, science. And the one thing that's missing from my bag, actually, I have a very small, one of those botany, I don't know what they're called. They're like a little magnifying glass, but they're super, super magnified. They're very powerful, magnifying, and they're very small. And they're used for looking at things like parts of plants and buds and flowers and whatnot. And I usually have that in my bag. I don't because I lent it to somebody, but that's normally in my bag too. That is it for my wild schooling pack. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this sort of thing, go ahead and subscribe. I'm working on doing more videos in the future. It's just a matter of me doing them and getting inspired to do one similar to this. Or let me know in the comments what you'd like to see. Yeah. Thanks for being here, and I might throw some videos in here so you can watch some fun stuff that we've been doing today.